And they led Jesus away to the high priest, and with him were assembled all the chief priests, the elders, and the scribes. But Peter followed him at a distance, right into the courtyard of the high priest. And he sat into the courtyard of the high priest. Now the chief priest and all the council sought testimony against Jesus, to put him to death, but found none. For many bore false witness against him, but their testimonies did not agree. Then some rose up and bore false witness against him, saying, "We heard him say, 'I will destroy the temple made with hands, and within 3 days I will build another temple made without hands.'" But not even then did their testimony agree. And the highest priest stood up in the midst and asked Jesus, saying,
"Do you answer nothing? What is it that these men testify against you?"
But he kept silent and answered nothing. Again, the high priest asked him, saying to him, "Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed?" Jesus said, "I am. And you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the power and coming with clouds of heaven." Then the high priest tore off his clothes, and they all condemned him to be deserving of death. Then some began to spit on him, and blindfold him, and beat him, and say to him, "Prophesy." And the officers struck him with the palms of their hands. Now as Peter was below in the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came. And when she saw Peter warming himself, she looked at him and said,
"You were with Jesus of Nazareth."
But he denied it, saying,
"I neither know or understand what you are saying."
He went out onto the porch, and a rooster crowed. But he denied it again. And a little later, those who stood by said to Peter again,
"Surely you are a Galilean, for your speech shows it. I do not know this man of whom you speak."
Peter called out to mind the word that Jesus had said to him, "Before the cock crows twice, you shall deny me 3 times." And when he thought about it, he wept. Immediately in the morning, the chief of priests held a consultation with the elders and the scribes and the whole council, and they bound Jesus and led him away and delivered him to Pilate. Then Pilate asked him,
"Are you the king of the Jews?"
He answered and said to him, "It is as you say." And the chief priest accused him of many things, but he answered nothing. Then Pilate asked him again,
"Nothing? See how many things they testify against you."
But Jesus still answered nothing, so that Pilate marveled. Then the multitude, crying aloud, began to ask him to do just as he had always done for them. But Pilate answered them, saying,
"Do you want me to release to you the king of the Jews?"
He knew that the chief priests had handed them over because of envy. But the chief priests stirred up the crowd, so that he should rather release Barabbas to them. Pilate answered them and said to them,
"What then do you want me to do with him?" whom you call the King of the Jews?
Out to him,
Crucify him.
Then Pilate said to him,
Why? What evil has he done?
but they cried out all the more.
Crucify him.
So Pilate, wanting to gratify the crowd, released Barabbas to them and delivered Jesus after he had scourged him to be crucified. And then Jesus was crucified, died the death not of someone great or not of a warrior, but of a criminal. Died the death of someone who ought to be executed. Died the death in the most horrible and embarrassing way. And when he did, he made a way for you and me, because he became sin, he that knew no sin, so that we may be saved from it. And when he died on that fateful day, the scrim tore in two, and there is no more veil, no more separation between you and a relationship with the Father. And on the third day, the stone was rolled away, and the Savior, who was once dead, now lived, because he was resurrected.